Warning viewer advisory notice. This video contains historical imagery, including tribal practices, artistic depictions, and cultural artifacts that some viewers may find sensitive or unsettling. All content is presented strictly for educational and documentary purposes. We respect all cultures and do not intend to offend or exploit. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome, devoted explorers of the unexplained, to DeVanished Realms. If you're new here, prepare to journey into the dark corners of history, where mysteries linger, and the veil between the known and the terrifyingly unknown often thins. We dissect true crime, unravel chilling mysteries, and recount real-life horrors that defy easy explanation. If that sounds like your kind of nightmare fuel, then take a moment, right now, to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Join our community of truth seekers and ensure you never miss another descent into the macabre. We've got countless untold stories waiting to haunt your waking hours. Tonight, we delve into a true-life horror story that began with privilege and ambition and ended in a swirling vortex of speculation, fear, and a chilling void. We're talking about the disappearance of Michael Rockefeller, scion of one of America's most powerful and affluent families, an adventurous young man who vanished without a trace in the unforgiving wilderness of New Guinea. His story isn't just a tale of being lost at sea. It's a descent into a primal fear, a haunting whisper of what happens when civilization clashes with the untamed. The year was 1961. Michael Rockefeller, at just 23 years old, was far from the concrete jungles of New York. A recent Harvard graduate with a deep fascination for anthropology and primitive art, Michael was driven by a passion that transcended his family's immense wealth. He wasn't chasing riches. He was chasing understanding, seeking to immerse himself in cultures untouched by the modern world. His specific focus, the Asmat people of Dutch New Guinea, renowned for their intricate wood carvings and a culture steeped in ancient traditions. Michael's first trip to New Guinea in early 1961 was as a soundman and photographer for a Peabody Museum expedition. But the Asmat's unique artistic expressions captivated him. He saw something profound, something powerful, in their art that spoke to a deeper human experience. He returned in late September of the same year, determined to collect Asmat artifacts for his father's Museum of Primitive Art. He wasn't just a collector. He was an ethnographer, meticulously documenting their lives, their rituals, and their extraordinary artistic legacy. The Fateful expedition began with Michael and Dutch anthropologist René Wassink, along with two local guides, navigating the treacherous waters off the coast. Their vessel was a 40-foot dugout canoe, equipped with an outboard motor, but utterly ill-equipped for the perils that awaited them. On November 17, 1961, as they ventured into the mouth of the island and river, disaster struck. High tides and swift currents overwhelmed their double pontoon boat. It swamped, then overturned, casting its occupants into the churning, indifferent sea. Two native guides, Simon and Leo, immediately took to the water, swimming for help. They were seasoned in these waters, and the hope was that they would quickly reach shore and bring rescue. Michael and Wassink, however, clung to the capsized vessel, battered by the waves, their supplies lost, their hope dwindling with every passing hour. A day turned into a night. No help came. By the morning of November 19th, nearly 48 hours after the capsize, Michael made a desperate decision. He fashioned a makeshift float from two empty jerry cans, secured them with his belt, grabbed a compass and a knife. To René Wassink, his companion, he uttered words that would forever echo with a chilling finality. "I think I can make it." And with that, Michael Rockefeller, heir to a staggering fortune, a young man brimming with life and ambition, plunged into the vast, unknown expanse of the Auriferous Sea. He was attempting to swim approximately 12 miles to shore, a grueling, near-impossible feat in such conditions. Wassink remained with the boat, eventually rescued the following day, but Michael was never seen again. The disappearance of Michael Rockefeller ignited a global sensation. His father, Nelson Rockefeller, then the governor of New York, personally flew to New Guinea to oversee a massive, exhaustive search operation. Boats combed the coastline, planes flew over the dense jungle, but no trace of Michael, no body, no wreckage, no sign of his fate was ever found. The official explanation, eventually, was drowning. He was lost at sea, a tragic accident in a wild and untamed land. But for decades, whispers persisted. Rumors, chilling and deeply unsettling, began to circulate. Rumors that defied the official narrative, suggesting a far more horrific end than simply succumbing to the currents. These whispers spoke of the Asmat. The Asmat, while artistically rich, had a history rooted in fierce intertribal warfare, headhunting, and ritualistic cannibalism, not as a means of sustenance, but as a spiritual act, a way to absorb the power and spirit of a fallen enemy. And there was a critical, often overlooked detail. A few years prior to Michael's arrival, a Dutch colonial patrol had clashed with an Asmat village, Overturned, killing several of their warriors. In the Asmat culture, such deaths demanded retribution, a cycle of reciprocal violence, where a life taken had to be repaid. In 2014, journalist Hoffman published his book, Savage Harvest, a tale of cannibals, colonialism, and Michael Rockefeller's tragic quest for primitive art. Hoffman spent years researching, sifting through Dutch government archives, and, most controversially, venturing into the Asmat territory himself, seeking out those who might remember, those who might know. What Hoffman uncovered was a deeply disturbing narrative, pieced together from fragmented accounts and carefully guarded secrets. He found compelling evidence, including details from official Dutch inquests, that suggested Michael Rockefeller did make it to shore. Exhausted, disoriented, but alive. And then he encountered men from Overturned. According to Hoffman's research, in the admissions of some villagers and elders, Michael was killed by the Asmat, not because he was an outsider, not for personal gain, but as an act of ritualistic revenge for the Dutch killings. He was, in a horrifying twist of fate, the unintended target of a payback ritual, a vessel for the spirits of their fallen warriors. The details, as recounted by those who were there, are chilling. He was reportedly struck by a spear, then by an axe. And in the grim culmination of their ancient rituals, his body was dismembered and consumed. A truly gruesome end for a young man who sought to understand, to document, to preserve. The official stance, largely perpetuated by the Rockefeller family, remains that Michael drowned. His twin sister, in her own memoir, holds firmly to that belief. There has never been any definitive physical proof of the cannibalism theory. No remains, no irrefutable evidence. The Asmat themselves, over the years, have given conflicting accounts, likely due to fear of reprisal and the desire to protect their cultural practices from outside judgment. So what truly happened to Michael Rockefeller? Was he swallowed by the unforgiving sea, or by a culture fiercely protective of its ancient ways, demanding a horrific reckoning? The mystery endures, a testament to the terrifying power of the unknown, in the thin line between exploration and utter devastation. Michael Rockefeller ventured into the DeVanished Realms of the world, and in doing so, became one of its most chilling, unresolved legends. His story serves as a stark reminder that some horrors don't hide in shadows, they emerge from the deepest, most isolated corners of human history. The story of Michael Rockefeller is a dark chapter in the annals of exploration, a true life horror that continues to captivate and disturb. If you found yourself caught in the chilling grip of this tale, make sure you're subscribed to DeVanished Realms. We publish new true crime, mysteries, and real-life horror stories every week, venturing into the forgotten, the feared, and the profoundly unsettling. Hit that subscribe button, join our community, and prepare for your next journey into the darkness. Until next time, stay safe, and remember, some realms are best left undisturbed.